Hey guys, let's see. It's Friday, right? Friday the 4th. And welcome. This is the last live stream for the day. And I'm thinking about an hour and I'm thinking about going to bed. Didn't sleep too well last night. Who do we got visiting? I told our friend Home Slice if she pops in tonight that we would talk a bit about Ram Dass. He's always fun for me to talk about. Sniper says, "Greeting, beautiful souls." Greetings, Sniper. How are you? Did I hear you say over at Rolla's live stream that you're going to do a live stream of your own this weekend? So this so to everyone in the chat. Welcome, Selena. Welcome, Michael. We will find out, Michael. This, my friends, is an envelope addressed to me from our good friend Michael Burkeen. And in it, there are channel stickers for the Mysteries Untold by Michael Burkeen channel. So we're going to do an unveiling. I've never done an unveiling before. Basically, it's an unenveloping. Sebastian says, "Good evening, all. Good evening, Sebastian. How are you?" Michael says, "Hey, Sebastian." Are you guys familiar with Ram Dass? Let's see. Michael says, "Hey, Sebastian, I'm going to type something in the comment section in the chat. A promise I made to Toy Pups." Hey, Nightmare. Nightmare says, "Just me, your favorite subscriber." You are definitely one of my favorite 7,048 subscribers. You're up there. I might even put you in the top 5 there, Nightmare. Might even put you in the top 3. So I typed that out, and I'm going to. It says Ram Dass equal 20th century dude. Sikh? No. He was but he really had his finger on the pulse of the American Eastern movement. Ram Dass was born Richard Alpert. I talk about him quite a bit. Richard Alpert turned out to be an psychologist, teacher, professor at Harvard, along with Timothy Leary. Timothy Leary basically is responsible, but I keep mentioning his famous saying. Give me a second, guys. And I always get it wrong. Are you guys fans of the group Moody Blues? Does anyone here even know who the Moody Blues is? Turn on, tune in, drop out was the famous Timothy Leary saying, which was the 1960s. Guys, we wouldn't have anything of the 60s worthwhile. We wouldn't have broken through from the 50s. It would have been drudgery had it not been for Timothy Leary getting fired from Harvard along with Ram Dass. And one of the reasons they got fired was because of Andrew Reel. Andrew Reel is the modern presenter of the 4-7-8 breath that we do here. How the circle turns, guys. Let's see. Nightmare says top 3. That's love. It's a well-earned position, Nightmare. You've been a good, true, and steady friend to me, to my channel, offering so much support, so much love to everyone that comes in here. It's been an amazing journey with you. Let's see. Semper says I've been asked to help out in the Woodlands for some cash in hand, which is welcome. Helping Atlanta with his Woodlands timber management that has been in place for 30 years, but without any. Let's see. Work applied in the last 10 years in the thinning woods. It sounds like a lot of work. Let's see. Nightmare says, "Say, brother Michael, hey, Pugs for Life, how are you?" I see that our friend Mama Chris is here. Hello, Yogi and everyone. Hello, Chris. All right. We got 5 people in the chat. This is my first unenveloping. Similar to unboxing, except it's not in a box. And really, the term unboxing isn't correct because it remains a box. To unbox would be to deconstruct the box, right? Unbox. You have a box, so then you have an unbox. Am I right about that? You're really just taking stuff out of a box. Hey, Abigail. Emma says I'm doing great. Awesome. This, my friends, can you see it? Is a genuine first edition Mysteries Untold by Michael Burkeen sticker. Limited edition. I got one of the first ones here. This is a gift from our friend Michael. Fully support Michael and his channel. The question is, where do I put it? Do I want to put it on something? Or do I want to keep it, like when people who collect comics, they never take their comic out of the plastic wrap, or action figures. They're really figurine guys. People like to call them action figures. They're figurines. They're dolls, actually. I knew some people who would buy albums and play them once so they could record it on a cassette back in the day when they had cassettes. I know that Mama Chris remembers those days. Folks Life says hi, and Selena says, Squirrel Sniper, I love the sounds of that woodland. So mysterious. Joshua, my friend, thank you so much. Let me get down here to give a proper thank you to Joshua. I did see the lightning bolts and the love. This is the amazing, energetic Joshua. Hello, everyone here. So kind, my friend. Joshua says, this is the amazing, energetic Joshua. Hello, everyone here. Hello, my friend. Thank you so much. Selena says, to the amazing, energetic Joshua, you really are amazing. He absolutely is. Michael says, I got a roll of 100. So, yeah, very limited. I sent out like 8. I consider myself fortunate to have this, Michael. Gifted a membership. Thank you. Hey, our friend Ryan. Ryan's awesome. Ryan comes in the morning, always asks great questions about training. He's got a very unique system of training himself. Let's see. It also says Agape Omni Love, Multiversal Collected Familia. How close did I get to pronouncing any of that correctly? Abigail says, good job, everyone. Thank you. What's up, Danny, my friend? Danny, our friend. Hey, Joshua. You going to be live streaming the regular time tomorrow and Sunday? Michael says, especially all you have done for me. Of course I would send you one. Hey, it goes both ways, Michael. As I mentioned with Nightmare, you as well. Been a good friend to me. You've been a good friend to the channel. I don't take any of your support casually or lightly. I know that it is a entirely my privilege to have you guys here hanging out with me. There's about 10,000 other things that you guys could be doing right now. Let's see. Sorcerer says, Lena, brightest blessings. So yeah, Ram Dass, Timothy Leary, they were heads of the Harvard Psychedelic Club, which was an underground club. They got fired for it. You can guess what they were doing. Harvard Psychedelic Club. But hey, they thought they were doing good, and they actually did do some good. But they got fired. The distinction of being the only tenured professors ever fired in Harvard's history. Timothy Leary went west. Attracted a following, hippies, toured, traveled the country, got arrested. Richard Alpert went east. He went to India. Sai Baba, his guru, asked him for his mind medicine, the psychedelics. Richard Alpert gave him like 5 and then regretted it because he watched his guru, his soon-to-be guru, take all 5 of them and show 0 effect. And this is back in the day when it was 100% mind-blowingly pure. Can't talk too much about it. I try not to on YouTube. Anyway, you can't not talk about it when you talk about Timothy Leary and Richard Alpert. So his guru, soon-to-be guru, pointed out to Richard Alpert that all of that stuff is just a tool. Takes you through a gate, but it leaves you there, and it's the same gate every time. If you want to go deeper, you got to meditate. You got to practice yoga. You got to do your breath work. You have to do self-inquiry. You have to study the sacred texts. You have to be of service. And he named him Ram Dass, servant of God. And that's how Ram Dass became Ram Dass. He came back to the United States soon after and wrote a book, Be Here Now, seminal hippie yogic classic, launched generation after generation of young disenfranchised kids, dropping everything to become Buddhists, become yogis, to become Sufis, to become Wiccans. It really set off that counterculture in an opposite direction of materialism to spiritualism. I'm getting to the point eventually. Towards the end of his life, Phoenix says, Sweet Mr. Yogi, salute to you, Phoenix, my friend. Towards the end of his life, in an interview, and it was a pretty long life, and it was a life of service. Ram Dass was a karma yogi, selfless service to others as a worship to the divine. Solskjaer says, awareness, service, and peace of mind are top priority. Agreed. Agreed. Joshua says, you're not hitting anymore, Danny. Sorry. Joshua says, Danny, I hide people who are supporting my ex. And hide you because you are just a supporting channel. Yeah, Danny's awesome. X, what's going on, Joshua? Hey, Song of Hand, I have not heard anything. So, hey, Cat. Cat says, in the ground, leaving a like. In the background, leaving a like. Appreciate it, Cat. Thank you. Hey, Cat, I need to ask you permission for something. Member says, Yogi, did you see my comment about X? I did not. Let me see if I can find it. Changing my name to top 3. Nightmare top 3. Top 3 nightmare. Top 3 nightmare. That has a nice ring to it. There it is. You got right to the point. We were all here walking each other home. Ram Dass was asked in an interview towards the end of his life, why are we here? Everyone expected to hear this great, deep yogic answer straight from the scripture, straight from the Bhagavad Gita or the Upanishads. Complicated. We are here to practice self-inquiry and uncover the Atman that is the essence of our Godhead. Would have been a good answer. Would have been possibly true. However, after consideration, he looked up, smiled very humbly, and said, you know what? We're all here just walking each other home. We're all here to walk each other home. That blew me away. That is the essence of my channel. Why are we here? Why are we joined together in this live stream? We're walking each other home. However long it takes for us to get there. Guess what? We all go together or we don't go at all. Because that's the way it works. You know why? Because in the words of Ramana Maharshi, when he was asked, how do we treat others? Again, he replied with a smile and said, there are no others. Phoenix says, oops, I read that. Sleep, Mr. Yogi. Sleep to you, Phoenix, my friend. Doctor says, it's okay now. Yogi, thanks for your concern. I was concerned about you the other day when we were talking with Willow and you said you had something to show us. I was hoping everything was all right. Nature says, that's right. Just walking each other home. Hey, you know what, Chris? I'm going to amend that for you. For you and Daisy May and Tandra. You guys aren't just walking us home, walking each other home. You're pulling up a chair and giving us a place to sit and rest. That's how I view your channels. You are an isle of peace. It reminds me of Herman Melville's quote in Moby Dick about Insula Tahiti. That in the heart of every man there is an Insula Tahiti, that isle of peace. You provide, Daisy May, Tandra, Toy Pups, Cat and Jack, an isle of peace. Nightmare says, Susan going to walk me home after I walk someone else home? I'll be there for you, Nightmare. I can't, if I can't be there for top 3, who can I be there for? Oh, Joshua says I was going to show you fire, real fire. Wow. Have you guys ever watched Joshua with fire? It's an amazing sight to behold. Solskjaer says, Dolly, Horton Hears a Who is really a documentary. I like that. Phoenix says, as a great Horton Hears a Who once said, we are here, we are here. Amen to that. Now, in jhana yoga, the yoga of self inquiry, and in the Course of Miracles, they would say, where is here? In the Course of Miracles and Advaita Vedanta, they'd say, and how do we get out of here? Hey, Jamie. Joshua says, but it's okay now. Hey, Joshua, if you ever need a friend to talk to, just reach out. Michael says, oops, if I get a weird vibe on a ghost tour and take a photo in the direction, I get the vibe 9 out of 10 times. We'll capture something in the image. Huh. What do you make of that, Michael? Seppo says we're all here because we have a burning divine question inside of us uh, that we all want answers to. What's up, Jamie? Jamie, how are you? You seem like you've been a little down lately in your last few live streams. Hey, Raya. 1 second, guys. So, hey, I do have the link up. If anyone, when it pops up, with their own favorite Ram Dass or anything, any tradition, anything that's meaningful for you. Coming up, 5 minutes, 1 sentence. Coming up and just give us a quote. Coming up and read a poem. Come up and share something that's meaningful for you. Anytime. It's pretty much an open forum. Brea says, one question. Who was on Yoda's live stream at the end? I don't know. I wasn't there at the end. Seppa says, Sleepy Hollow, Michael Burkeen. I always love that story. Let's see. Michael says, damn, I can't type tonight. My muscles are sore. Been working out in the holler. I'm trying to give it that best Tennessee. I didn't say hollow. Holler. Down in the holler. Down by the creek, as my family up in Pennsylvania calls it. I would walk with Mocha and I would say, hey, down yonder in the creek there. And she would look at me and like, you were born and raised in the suburbs. You're not a mountain boy, but I have mountain boy roots. My family's from the mountains. When I was 15, I left school down here. I went to live with my cousins up in the mountains in Pennsylvania. Visited every summer. Jamie says, I'm okay, thanks. How are you? I'm doing good, Jamie. Chris says, hi, Rhea. Hey, Chris. Have you looked at the workbook of A Course in Miracles? There's the text, and there is the workbook, 365 lessons. They also have the manual for teachers, which over the last couple years has become more and more meaningful for me. Rhea says at the end, She watched it after she said, "Sorry, I got to go. It's Rusty." She sounded scared and worried. I didn't see that. Um, Hopefully she'll reach out and let me know what's going on. As always, guys, our prayers are with Willow and uh, Rusty for guinea pig who hasn't been doing too well. Hey, Rob. Chris says hi to Rob. Jamie says hi to Squirrel Sniper. There you go. Phoenix says God willing and the creek don't rise. That's the way. That's how we say it. Back up in the suburbs where I come from. I actually do come from the suburbs. Hey, Toy Pups. Toy Pup says still on cloud nine. Exactly where you belong, my friend. But man, I lived in a magical suburb. It's a planned city, Columbia, Maryland. Um, and it is based upon villages that have open space, fields, woods, ponds, everything connected. It has interfaith centers instead of churches, or it used to. It's changed a bit because the concept, James Rouse is the person who did Mall in America, as well as the Baltimore Inner Harbor, and he is the grandfather of the actor Edward Norton, who went to school here in Columbia. I didn't know him, but I knew people who knew him. The interfaith centers were designed so that one faith would be coming out of a service as the other faith would come in, and they would meet and they would intermingle, and it would have an offering of peace to the whole thing. Like I said, I grew up in a very magical area. Chris says I have a pocket edition of Course Miracles. It has 663 pages, so it doesn't have the workbook. Hey, Chris, if you, they do have a free online version of A Course in Miracles. The workbook lesson, it's Foundation for Inner Peace. Let me type that in here. The workbook is invaluable because this is where the rubber meets the road. This is when you are asked to practice, and it's a mind training course. How to get from point A to heaven. Heaven is not a place we go, it's the state of reality that's revealed as we practice. Let's see. Toy Pup says just had retail therapy as well. Overload of stickers. What has happened? Speaking of stickers, my Michael Burkeen sticker, guys. That's a pretty wild sticker. Did a good job designing it. Hey, if you send me an email, my email's in my channel. I'll send you as a gift. I'll have it delivered. The workbook. It would be like my contribution, not just to you, but to A Course in Miracles itself, and what it's offered me in 30 plus years of study. All right. Hey, Village Fruit Season, how are you, my friend? Appreciate you being here. This episode's Nightmare. The legends say that those who come from underneath the mountains inside. Hey, Danny. Danny says, good day, Yogi, my friend. Danny, how are you? I saw that you mentioned, I think it was in Bob's, how busy you've been. Getting any, is it easing up any? Where it says, how do you know though? What am I supposed to know? All I can do is hope that Willow, who actually came in here she is, will let me know what's going on when she sees fit. Let's see. Willow says, hi, how are you, Yogi? How is everyone here? We're doing okay, Willow. How are you? Pip Up says, hi, nature, love you, honey. Nightmare says Jonah 26. Not familiar with that. Danny says, Puppy Mommy, love you. Toy Pup says that is so cool. Yeah, it is a cool sticker. Hey, Kit Kat, how are you? Kit Kat says, hi, y'all. How are you all? Jonathan says, you're cool. Life will be better. Jonathan, you already are better. Remember how I told you that I absolutely will not judge you. I have a favor to ask of you. Do your best to absolutely not judge yourself. Chris says that would be cool, Yogi. Appreciate that. Absolutely, Chris. Again, it would definitely be my honor. Willow says, yeah, she wasn't good. See ya. How is she now? Kit Kat says, hit a squirrel. Chris says, hit a Kit Kat. How far behind? Oh, I'm not too far behind. Danny's waving at everyone. Hey, Smitty. Smitty says, popping in to say hi. Sup, fam? Love you, bro. Love you too, my friend Smitty. Hey, are you guys subscribed to Smitty Deuces? One of my favorite gaming channels. Him, Caleb Hill, Tokyo Gold. Three of the greats. If you go subscribe to Smitty and you leave a comment, he will get back to you. I guarantee it. Hey, Donald, the real question is, what would we all do for a Klondike bar? Nowadays, nothing. Back in the day, I don't know. Walk to the store would probably be I wouldn't even have to do that. I would have waited for the Good Humor Man and just gotten one of those instead. They were pretty good though. Chris says in Jonah 2:6 that prophet Jonah, while inside the fish, describes sinking to the roots of the mountains, feeling trapped, but then expresses gratitude that God brought him back to life, saying, but you, Lord, my God, brought my life up from the pit. Nice. Oh, Nightmare says Jonah 2:6 was what Squirrel was referencing. Gotcha. Jonathan says, too late. Here's one of the great messages from A Course in Miracles. It's never too late to choose again. Choose again, Jonathan. If you've judged yourself in the past, that doesn't mean you have to judge yourself now. And the past doesn't exist. One of my all-time favorite quotes is, forgiveness is giving up all hopes of a better past. You will never, never have a better past. So, quit trying to. Let it go. Forgive yourself now in this moment. Release the judgment in this moment. And from here, you begin to project a brighter, more loving, fulfilling future. The future too doesn't exist. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. However, the past will never, ever exist. The future eventually unfolds as the present moment. What you do now will shape your future. What did the Buddha say about that? Sorry. I would get up and find it, but my cat is right in front of the bookshelf, and for me to get that book means I would disturb my cat. She does not appreciate that. Pip Up says, Willow smile. Michael says, back from Lurkin. I'm getting ready for a relaxing horror music premiere. It's viewer's choice song. Oh, nice. You want to drop a link? Sir Soulstar says, now is all there is. Absolutely. And yet, consider how much time we spend in the past. Consider how much time we worry about the future. Zephyr says, Rhea quote, Three Gates. Jonathan says, okay. Hey, don't think that I don't know that it's difficult. I spent a lifetime judging myself. And then I spent another lifetime, so it seemed, judging myself for judging myself. When you start seeing the ridiculousness of judging yourself, and then you think of all the time you spent judging yourself, which is just another subtle form of judgment, you step on that yogic path, the spiritual path, the meditative path, and you become all too aware of your thoughts. It might have been better when you were sort of ignorantly moving along, thinking everything's right. But when you become aware of your thoughts, you start thinking, what a mess. What a mess that's going on here. Let's see. So, guys, you've heard us talk about the three gates. Three gates, originally, a lot of people attribute it to Buddhist quotes. It actually came from a poem written by Rumi, but a lot of Buddhists have adopted it as mindfulness training. The three gates are before, when things are still a thought, before we say anything, ask ourselves, is what I'm about to say true? Is it absolutely true? Not, do I want it to be true? Do I wish it was true? Do I think it's true? It might be true. Is it absolutely true? And not just for me, is it an absolute truth? Meaning the other person will see it as true as well. Or at least there's the possibility of someone else seeing it as true. Is it necessary? And again, we take it deeper. Not just necessary as in I really want to say it. I can't wait to say it. I can't wait to see their reaction. Is it necessary? Is it helpful? Is it going to help the other person? Is it going to help you? And we don't kid ourselves. It's a secret to self inquiry. We can't kid ourselves. And the last, and for me, again, the most important, is what we're about to say, is it kind? And again, this isn't in casual conversation, joking with your friends, watching TV, whatever. This is, in a dialogue, what we're trying to have here, what we are having here. So if it doesn't pass those three gates, then especially being kind. What we decided to do, I dislike timing people out. But this way, when the conversation starts going towards not being kind, there'll be a gentle timed out, 5 minutes. If they come back, and I hope they do, everything is instantly forgiven. They're treated like it's a fresh start. None of the stuff that happened because we're in the present moment. Basically, we're practicing mindfulness. If it happens again, maybe a 10-minute timeout. Eventually, it might be for the day. I dislike doing that, but we'll see how it works. Michael says, gave you a sub, Soul Stars. Phil says, how is everyone? Give me a second. The past doesn't exist. I love that. However, it surely would only apply to people who view the past as negative. No. Great memories, all that stuff of our loved ones. Well, that's a great point, Nightmare. Memories. What is a memory? A memory is a thought. And when does every single thought occur? A thought will never occur in the past. You don't have past thoughts. You have thoughts about the past now. So when you release the need to even have a past thought, you realize loved ones are present now. They've never gone anywhere. It's a living reality, an actuality. That doesn't mean that we can't have thoughts about the past. It means that we're not attached, that we don't allow them uh, in any way, negative or positive, to bind us to the past itself. I mean, I have wonderful, wonderful memories of my family, specifically my father. And I do like thinking about him. But even the most loving, beautiful memories um, can be painful because it's not the actuality of the moment. But when I allow the thoughts of the past to simply be thoughts of the past and not shape the present moment, I actually experience my father's presence. Like the story that I told last night. Literally, my father was there. It was his hand was every bit as guiding and steady as it was ever. Let's see. Michael says, "You're welcome, Willow." Sorry, guys, fell a little behind. Michael says, as suggested, I ordinarily don't like to do that, but there you go, Yogi. Um, I hope it. I hope it works. Willow says, sorry, I just can't talk about her. Rusty at the moment. Understood. Everything at your own time. Let's see. Lucy says, I'm going through hard times, one crisis after another. Please pray for me. Absolutely, Lucy. Um, any news? Any news that you're able or want to share? Flip up says, you're stressing, Willow, so we understand. Listen to the chat, express yourself. You feel safe to do so here. Sorry, guys. My computer is running slow again. Soulstar says, let's work together to continue raising the energy, frequency, vibration, and sovereignty of the collective and all creation. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oops. Need to take my evening supplement. Willa says, I mean, I understand her concern because I haven't even said if she is alive. I get that. And I also understand that she can think what she wants to. I'm just not ready to speak about it. Yeah, and you don't have to be. This is a no pressure zone, Willow. Like says exactly no need to draw on the past if you can't change it. Yeah, excellent point. Zeppa says to Willow, it's just a shame Rhea once and seems to not realize that they're not helping themselves. Lucy says, oops. My channel just timed out. Bringing it back up. Give me a second. Yogi, who do you want to win the UCL? Is the Paris team still there? If the Paris team is still there, I want the Paris team to win. Well, let's hope everyone's having a good day. Let me get back up where Lisa was talking about. Here you go. My mom is in the ER again. I had to call 911 because she was on the floor not making sense. My mom and my brother's health has been declining. I worry about what the future holds. I can understand that, Lucy. You've been through a lot. As you requested, though, prayers are coming your way constantly. And reach out if you need to talk. Michael says, we understand, Willow. Also says, sending healing vibes, Lucy. 1 second, guys. This is L-theanine, which is the amino acid found in green tea, along with a low dose of melatonin. Part of my evening sleep hygiene. Phoenix says, Lucy, sending prayers. Sorry to hear. Will says, hope everyone's having a good day. Stephen says, life is a learning curve. Just be. Agreed. I've talked quite a bit about that. Life being a classroom. Sorry, I had a smile. It's on nightmare, but the Paris team. The Paris team. Willow says, sending prayers to Lucy. Lucy says, my brother is home in a neck brace. I really could be doing more to help him. My YouTube takes me away. Might have to put off YouTube for a while till I get things in order. Also means not coming in chats. That's understood, Lucy. You got to do what is best for you and best for your family. Lucy says nothing personal. Just can't have distractions. Understood. Michael says, I'm still not over the loss of my 13-year-old cat, Felix. And that was back in Thanksgiving, before Thanksgiving. I remember. Hey, Monkey Man, how are you? Michael says, I can totally relate to what Willow is going through. Lucy says, I need to learn to drive, do paperwork, all the things. I saw you mention that on your live stream. Taking care of my brother and mom. Hey, well, they would definitely appreciate all the things that you're willing to do. Nemer says, yes, yes, so in there, Yogi. So that's the team you're rooting for, right? Lucy says, without any kind of distraction, thanks so much, everyone. Hey, but don't forget, you can also reach out if you need to. Sepa says, be right back. Just walking Cosmo. Chris says some prayers to Lucy. Michael says, prayers for your mom, Lucy. So let me know. We're going to be live for probably 15, 20 more minutes. If anyone wants to fit in some breath work. Lucy says, I know, and thank you, Yogi Eric. You're welcome, my friend. Nemer says, yep, that's who will win. I know because I've got a bet on them. All right. That's my team then. Soulstar says, well, Lucy, you have taken on so much all at once. Take all the time you need and know that we are here for you. Yes. I would recommend, if you can find a little bit of time to meditate, a little bit of quiet time for Lucy, as well as some breath work, because that will make you so much a more effective caregiver, because you're giving yourself care as well. Caregiver has to live up to that title, caregiver, which means you got to give care for yourself in order to effectively give care to others. Chris says breath work. Rhea says, I was just saying. I know you were, Rhea. So, talking about those three gates, I know you're tired of hearing about them. It's about being mindful of what we're thinking and what we're saying. Because now we start having empathy. We start thinking, if I say this, how is it going to affect someone? How is it going to affect someone who might be very vulnerable right now? How is it going to affect everyone in the chat? How is it going to affect me? And that literally changes our lives. Monkey Man says, oops, Michael says, hey there, Monkey Man. Monkey Man's on his second channel. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. What's up, Runner Boy? Runner Boy says, I have come to take over this live stream. Now, yes, all call me the Yogi. Can we call you Yogi Boy? There's a nice ring to it. Nightmare says, quick shout out to Monkey Man Eric. His channel has been growing well lately. Awesome. He's got a great live stream. It's been a little bit since I've had the opportunity to catch him, but hopefully that'll change. Michael says, rare quote, be kind, buddy. Hey, thanks for that shout out, Nightmare. Let's see. Lisa says, yes, I mentioned someone that does yoga would be a better therapist. My father, when I was well, let's start with my mom. I was a caregiver for my mom and her declining years with Alzheimer's, along with my dad, help from my siblings. Had I not been meditating, I would not have had the presence of mind, the patience, the kindness, and the care to be an effective caregiver for someone with dementia. Because you, speaking of the present moment, you have to be centered in the present moment. You can't say, I just told you. Don't you remember? How many times do I have to tell you? Don't you listen? Because the answer to all that is no. They can't. They have lost that capacity. They are in the present moment fully. And in the present moment, sometimes the past is very real for them. My mom was an amazing teacher for over 50 years. Once I walked by her room, this is probably in her last 2 years with Alzheimer's, and I heard her talking, and I was curious because I knew no one else was up here. And I looked in the room, and my mom was teaching a classroom of children that only she could see. And she was lit up. It was a beautiful sight to behold. But I was able to stay present, which was invaluable help to my dad because he needed someone who could stay present with him to keep him from getting frustrated. My dad had had a stroke, so some people, when you have a stroke, you lose your patience a little easily, a little quicker, and that bothered my dad because the last thing he ever wanted to do was hurt the person that he loved, but he knew it was possible, so he relied on me to help in that aspect with my mom. And then I became my dad's critical caregiver, and I had literally do every single thing for him. And I had to use those three gates as well. In everything, I needed to be focused, present, and kind. My number one priority with my father was to always keep in mind he's my father. That just because I'm the caregiver doesn't mean that our roles are reversed. He's my father. He gets the respect. And he is treated as the head of the household. That was important for me. Anyway, I was able to effectively do all of that, or as effectively as possible, because of the meditation, because of the breath work, because of my yoga practice, because of practicing A Course in Miracles. My mother taught me that gift of forgiveness because I had a contentious relationship with my mom. And all of a sudden, I find myself in this position where I had to let go of all that contentious, all the stuff that happened in the past, and just focus on caring for her not just as my mom, but as a person. I finally saw my mom as a person and not just my mom. So, yeah, Lucy, if you don't have time to come in here in the chats, uh, reach out to me on Messenger and I can do some private breath work with you. Just we can do it for 5 minutes just to help. Rhea says, "What are you talking about?" We're talking about caregiving, Rhea, being a caregiver, taking care of the people that we love. Hey, Redeemer. Hey, thanks for the kind word earlier today. Going to live in the impossible life. Impossible life. I like that. Have you guys ever read the book The Impersonal Life? Supposedly, Elvis Presley, it's a little book of wisdom. Supposedly, Elvis Presley liked it so much, he would literally buy thousands of them and just hand it out to people on the street. Very important book for me 30 years ago. I actually reread a book by the same author a couple months ago. Thank you, Chris. Lucy says, "Thank you so much, Eric. I greatly appreciate that. You're welcome, my friend." Flo says, "Yogi, I don't have something to say later, or I just don't feel like I really want Rhea to be in chat too, because I know as soon as I say Rhea will have a comment. So I don't know. I can understand that. We could give Rhea a chance if you want." Rhea says, "No, true he would." Well, you know what, Rhea? You don't have to. In this one case, in this one instance, you could choose not to. Runner Boy says, "That book is older than me." Man, you know what? I'm willing to bet you that I'm trying to think of. I'm willing to bet that I'm wearing at least one item of clothing that is older than you. Runner Boy says, "You know that Black Rhea problem solved? You can't see them, they can't see you." Let's see. Hey, Sheena. Sheena, how are you? Sheena says, like 29. So let's do our breath work. Here's a breath ratio that we haven't done before. You guys remember the Ujjayi breath? That's that ha sound, as if we are fogging up a bathroom mirror, but the mouth is shut. We breathe in through the nose, exhale through the nose. That gentle snoring sound that we make. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it goes like this. Only loud enough for you to hear. It's not a loud snore, it's very gentle. Causes a constriction of the throat. Constriction of the throat tones the vagal nerve. That is the nerve that brings us from fight or flight, the parasympathetic state, to rest and digest, the parasympathetic state. That breath alone, I used it last night. I was on the verge, a little bit of anxiety creeping in. It's a little scary. You get scared of anxiety, it causes more anxiety, and then you spiral. And I saw that there might be a case of some spiraling going on. I had already done my evening breath work before bed. I didn't want to get out of bed and do more, although that's always a possibility. So I just laid on my back and I practiced that ujjayi breathing, the ha, and I fell asleep. Hey, Sardashian, how are you? Sardashian says, "Hey, Eric, how you doing, man? I'm good, my friend. How about you? Hey, are you guys subscribed to Sardashian? One of the hardest working gig workers on YouTube, along with Mary's Gigs. Will says, I don't want to be the bad person. I've never blocked anyone, and I don't really want to unless I really need to. You might need to, Willow. And it's not a bad person. That would make you a bad person. That would make you a self protective person. Burner Boy is going to do the breath work while holding my 10-minute squat. Runner Boy says, Yoda, blocking someone does not make you bad. Agreed. So, we practice that ha breath in and out. We're going to breathe in. Here's where that breath becomes so valuable. It helps us extend the inward breath and extend the outward breath. Slows it down just a bit. So we're going to breathe in for a count of 5, something a little different. There's going to be a natural pause, but we're not going to count it. We just notice it. We're going to exhale through the nose for a count of 7, and we're going to repeat 5 and 7. Lisa says the mom is in the ER. I had to call 911. She's out of it. Broke my heart to see her halfway to death, being brought out of the house. Letting know what happened, Sheena. Lula says Yoda would also fix the drama in Yogi's chat every night. I think it's gotten a little better. Sheena's sending prayers to Lucy. Thank you, Sheena. Well, is this true? It's me. I'm the problem. You've never been a problem. Hey, I never promised people a drama-free chat. This is what I mentioned yesterday about polishing the mirror. Where does drama for everyone begin? Have you ever experienced drama when you weren't there? Drama happens in our mind, which also means we have the solution for peace in our mind as well. Wherever we go, we can walk through life with that serene smile, even when it seems like it's falling apart. Even when we're eyeball deep in drama, we can remind ourselves, I can choose peace instead of this. So here we go, guys. I'll be out of the chat for about 2 minutes, about 3 minutes. For anyone who wants to participate, we're going to do the 5-7 breath. This is a new ratio. Very good for bringing us out of that sympathetic to the parasympathetic, from fight or flight to the rest and digest, from anxiousness to peacefulness. So whoever wants to participate, close your eyes, and we're just going to focus on the breath. Easily breathing in, easily breathing out. Notice where that breath occurs, not just in the body, but in time as well. The breath links us to the present moment. We never breathe in the past. We never breathe in the future. We have this breath and this breath alone, infinitely told. So we're going to breathe in, making that ha sound for a count of 5. We're going to exhale, extending the exhale slowly through the nose, using that ha sound as if we're releasing air from a balloon. A little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, for that count of 7. Hello, Mocha. Give me 1 second. So we're going to begin. Eyes closed. We're breathing in for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Our last breath for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and relax. Allow the breath to settle. Just a moment. In this relaxed state, this is when manifestation happens. This is where prayers are answered and heard and released. Bring your attention to the heart center. Feel the heart beating easily. Grateful for the effortless action of the heart itself. And in that state of gratitude, if we can send our prayers to our friend Lucy and her mom, to our friend Willow, and to all those that we know who are in need, and we release the prayers. And when you're ready, open your eyes and I'll see you in the chat. Sheena says, I love listening to Eric count. He's a dance instructor I never had. We are dancing with our breath. The breath is the great infinite dance of life. Lucy says, bad food feels good for the short run. It's like a drug and does long. Agreed. What's up, Milka? Thank you for coming in. Always appreciate seeing Milka here. Do you guys know Master Sergeant retired Milka? 23 and a half years in the U.S. Air Force. Willa says, thank you, Yogi. Always. What boy says, that was hard doing in a squat. I bet it was. Chris says, thank you, Yogi. You're welcome, Chris. Mocha says, you missed a comment when someone called you an angle? Did I? Who would be nice enough to say something like that? Did you see Runner Boy talking about, that's it, I'm going to get Laradex to come back? I haven't seen Laradex in a while. Oh, Sheena said, so calming like an angel. Thank you, Sheena. It's not me, it's the breath work. Kat says, hi, Milka. Chris says, hello, Milka, Master Sergeant Milka, for your service. Yogi is a cute angel. Cute angle. A cute angle. I do get it. That was funny. It took me a second to get it. Milka says, hi to Ninja Dog and Captain Jack. Hey, speaking of service and Milka, She did a great service for her country, for sure. When she was called, she stepped up, did what she had to do. And I love that. I appreciate that. On a personal note, she did amazing service for my father when she didn't have to. She did. Tina says, Eric, your life is beautiful because your brokenness has made you a great servant. I love you, brother. Tina, thank you so much. That man, it was an absolutely awesome comment. Semper says Sheena did Eric. Oh, gotcha. Thank you, Semper. Willis says, Yogi, now I will say so to Rusty, yes, she is alive. I will explain all I know. If you want me to, Yogi, I'm prepared to say it all will probably be better if I say because so much information for me. Yes, thank you for 10 breaths work, Yogi. It helped a bit. Thanks, my friend. Hopefully, it just took the edge off because I know how much you're hurting. Yes, we can do Breath of Fire tomorrow morning. Sheena says, Mocha, thank you for your service. Runner Boy says, Mocha for president 2026. Willis says, you all amazing. Here is all amazing. That's why you fit in, Willow. You are amazing too. I know you don't believe it, but I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. Mocha says, thank you to Sheena. Lucy sends some unicorn vibes. Mocha says, Runner, sorry, but hell no. That would be 2028. Well, he might want you to run for president of Ireland, which is where Runner Boy is. So yeah, so Russie, she is home and well. So she's doing better. Will says I'm not amazing. No, I'm not. Hey, Willow, I don't want to debate. I don't want to argue with you. You most certainly are amazing. Every live stream, you ask me, no matter what's going on in your life, every single live stream, you ask me how I am without fail. You've never not asked me how I am. You've asked me what's good in my day. You have deep concern, deep empathy for everyone here in the chat. As well, I watch you with your animals, and that's amazing to watch. The care that you have. Jamie says, "How to Runner Boy." Mocha says, Yoda, you could be amazing to someone else. This is true. Runner Boy says, I know I'm amazing. No question needed. Yeah, that's why, Runner Boy, I never bring it up because I know in your amazingness, you are also amazingly humble. And if I said, Runner Boy, do you know how amazing you are? You would just blush. You probably rush out of the room. I don't want to put you in that position. Mocha says, doesn't mean that you will see that though. Will says, Russie is breathing on her own. She wasn't earlier, and she is slowly eating, but like so slowly that she is fighting so much, Yogi, she might make it. That's my prayer, Willow, that she will. Lucy says, I'm Irish by blood and spirit. I, the other day, went down the rabbit hole of, it wasn't ancestry.com, but it was another ancestor site, all the way to one of the original McCartys in Ireland. McCartys have a long tradition in County Cork. Gina sends the prayers to Yoda. Willis says, yeah, of course, Yogi. I just need to make sure you're all okay, my friends. Well, I hope you can appreciate how amazing that actually is. Not everyone does that. Sniper says, Willie, you are one of many things, and one of those is amazing. Runner Boy says, someone has to be the best, the very best that no one ever was. And Runner Boy is just the person for that job. Sheena says, change is a slow journey every day. You make progress, never stop believing. Will says, I really hope she keeps fighting this way, starting to get better. I really hope she does go back down like she did last night. I hope so too. I hope so too, Willa. Hey, Adam, sweating a smile in his ear. The darn McCartys, yeah, they're all over the place, aren't they, Runner Boy? Milka says, I was just passing through, have a ton of homework. Bye, y'all. Bye, Milka. Let's see. Sheena says, McCarty's here in the 1920s, was wealthy people who actually had a car dealership. Wow. Where was this, Sheena? Most of my family uh, in northern Pennsylvania, the McCartys up there, not so well off. My grandfather was a forest ranger. He had some hard times. He was actually shot in the foot by an out-of-state hunter. He was out of work for a long time. Willis says, but she's walking a bit more. The vet said, bring her home. She is looking good. She is doing so much better. She doesn't need help to breathe now. So breathe better and while eating a lot, just slowly. That's all good signs. She just has her uh, back up. Can't spell it. That's okay. The important thing is she's doing better. Oh, Oklahoma City. I was blood relatives, but they were like family to my grandmother. Oh, cool. Never been to Oklahoma. Did a song by, I think it was Hoyt Axton who wrote it. Three Dog Night sang it. Willis says, reach up that much at the moment. Oh, sorry, I missed your first comment. But the thing is, she's in separate cages to her sisters and Fangs and uh, Fox. I should know that by now, right? Because she walks so slow. The vet said to still put the food where I put it, just not full. Gotcha, my friend. Oh, you were not blood relative, but the story of kindness was amazing. Well, it's nice to know that someone who shares the family name uh, was being kind way back in the 1920s in Oklahoma, Dust Bowl. That was not an easy time for anyone. I'm a big fan of John Steinbeck, as well as Woody Guthrie. Willis says, but if I did that with others in the cages, well, the food would be gone. So that's why. Gotcha. She still has some medication. Need to feed her every 2 hours. That's better than what you had to do before. So now every 10 to 15 minutes, it's not the worst. Forks. Forks X. Forks X. Sheena says, I love genealogy and history. I do too. Yoda says, yes, you should be perfect at saying her name now. You would think. Thamma says, jump in between streams, sir. What are the other streams? Who's up and running? We're actually going to head off. It's just about that time. an hour and 20 minutes. So when did they get the breath work? Hey, Hats on a Mission, Jeremy and Cheryl, how are you guys? Hey, in my opinion, the premier cruising channel, Jeremy and Cheryl. Cruising is fun anytime. And Hats on a Mission, which is a sub channel supporting literally Hats on a Mission, helping out the homeless, helping out the less fortunate. So, hey, guys, if you can support all of those endeavors. Sheeta says, slow hats. Oh, Specs, Gravity Core just ended, and You Are My Cycle. The trifecta. I'm a big fan of both of those guys. Well, technically, Gravity Core being two. Get some love from Sheena. Hats on a Mission says, hey, Sheena. Willis says, yeah, that's what I'm a bit happy. Every 2 hours is better than what it was. Sorry, I couldn't say either. It just sucked, to be honest. Tractions pretty much was well. Yeah, and you know what? When you have that positivity, you don't want it dampened at all. That's awesome, Willa. Absolutely awesome. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for hanging out. Much appreciated. Thank you for the opportunity to do some breath work with you guys. Let me know how, don't have to do it tonight, but let me know how you'd like that 5-7. Namer says, Yogi, have you, quick question, have you ever wanted to support someone, but the negativity is just too much? Yes, I have. Do you want to know the answer? Do it anyway, to the best of your capacity in that moment. And what you find is your capacity growth. Maybe you can only do it for just, maybe not even a minute, but you show up the next day, and the next day, and the next day. You take it as your practice. Yesterday, I kept bringing up polishing the mirror. That's what we do. We're polishing the mirror. We are mirrors. Are we reflecting the ego, or are we reflecting love? Are we reflecting our own self concerns continuously, or are we reflecting divinity, the Holy Spirit? But we don't need to, we need to be kind to ourselves. We can always say, I can't do it right now. I'm choosing the wrong teacher. The key is to know when you're choosing the wrong teacher. You don't need to change it. You don't need to do anything else. But as soon as you start knowing that you are, you start seeing you have these choices that we can make. I can begin to show up. I can begin to offer a little more kindness. I can begin to offer more love. Let's see. Sweat and Smile says, have a good rest of your day. Thank you, Adam. You too. And by the way, only 22 days away from the Holy Grail, where Adam and a group of 19 other elite burpee practitioners. And Adam might say, no, I'm not elite. If you're stepping up to do 1,000 burpees, you're elite. Trust me. They're going to do the Holy Grail, which is 1,000 burpees in a row on the 26th. Nightmare says, okay, thanks. Hard to find that balance. Well, you'll never be balanced, Nightmare. I know you're going to walk away from this live stream and you're going to go to another live stream and you're going to go, Yogi just called me imbalanced. Yogi just called me unbalanced. All of us are unbalanced, but we're in the act of balancing. And that's the kindest thing we can do for ourselves, is realize we don't have to be perfect. We're always trying to balance. We're always doing our best. Jonathan, nothing to be sorry for, my friend. We're always balancing. That's the whole nature of forgiveness, is coming back to the present moment, coming back to the present moment, not dragging the past with us. So, Willis says, I will keep you updated. My friend, goodbye, Yogi. See you tomorrow on your 5 a.m. live stream, 10 a.m. for me, and hopefully do Breath of Fire. We will definitely do Breath of Fire. Hey, CC, it's been a little bit. Says yin and yang. Absolutely. Nightmare says, I heard you loud and clear, Yogi. It's my fault because of my balance. Got it. Man, I'm going to go into a live stream tomorrow morning and someone's going to be like, hey, man, I heard you called my friend Nightmare unbalanced. How dare you? However, I'm joining you. I'm joining you in that unbalancedness. Nightmare says, thanks for the stream, sir. Thanks for being here, Nightmare. Thanks for including me in that cycle. Rose says, thanks, Yogi. Goodbye, all. A night. Hey, prayers are continuing. Redeemer says, a challenge. Where is the balance? We just keep trying to balance. It's a verb, not a noun. Nightmare self-assessment is on the path to balance. Hey, Teddy. Teddy says, this is a separate one. I've only been live for almost an hour and a half. Danny says, Yogi, sometimes a person needs a second chance because we all make mistakes. Absolutely, Danny. And here's the thing. I believe in infinite chances. Does that mean I'm always able to extend infinite chances to people? No, but that doesn't change the fact that everyone deserves infinite chances. Chris says, yes, Danny. Agreed. I agree. 100%. Well said, Danny. Beautifully said. All right. Guys, thank you. Much appreciated. I will see everyone, tomorrow. Teddy, who is also Oliver, says it's weird being called Teddy. Yeah, I bet. Bo said that is another reason I haven't blocked her yet. That's understood. I'll handle it from now on out. But like I said, timing Ray out doesn't mean that we are pushing her aside. It means that we are giving them a break to reassess. Come back. They are welcomed. We're not holding anything against them. But I think you guys can see. Oliver says, "Make back to Oliver." I like the name Oliver. Love wins. It does. But I think you can see. I think you guys might agree. The chat's better this way. Let me know. Let me know tomorrow what you think. Forgive. Very insightful, CC. Very insightful. Well, says, yes. Thank you, Yogi. Yes. Danny says, good night, Yogi. Good night, Danny. Will says, yep, definitely. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Redeemer says, thanks again, Biggie. He who gets the best of me, they can have the rest of me. Nice. I like that. Tina says, have a beautiful night, Yogi. You too, my friend. And Oliver says, but I'll have to get this website up and do it for my friend, make the website. It's about respecting by forgiveness. Yes, agreed. Good night, guys. Thank you again.